Hello and welcome back everyone. Thank you for tuning in to today's video. This is going to be a tier list on eczema lotions. First I want to say, anyone out there who has eczema like I do, let's see if you can see, it's pretty red. It's not, I don't have it thankfully where it gets bumpy, but you can see where the skin has broken open in some areas. I have it all over. I have it in my eyelids, I have it under my eyes, I have it on my hands, the inside of my elbows, the inside of my knee. I mean, I have it everywhere. It sucks. It's something we have to live with if you have it. If you don't, I'm not saying you have to consider yourself grateful, but definitely enjoy not having to spend money on the lotions. And that's part of the reason why I'm making this video, to help anyone out there who is unsure of what lotion to spend their money on. And not everything is going to be the same for every person. Something that works well for me may not work well for you. None of the lotions or brands that I'm about to show have paid me in any form. If one of you would like to, definitely I'm down for it. I have to use multiple products every day. But before we go any further and actually get into the tier list, let me say, if you do have it, number one thing I suggest cut out immediately is Tide laundry detergent. Miele makes a sensitive skin that there's no way you could have an issue with, but personally I don't even need the sensitive skin of the Miele brand. The regular detergent is plenty fine. I highly suggest it. Tide is probably the best out of the regular brands, but still, it doesn't matter what brand it is, it's not as good as Miele, I promise you. Get the Miele and stop over soaping. No matter what brand you have, a lot of the times you're getting the irritation because the washing machine simply cannot get the soap out. It is just always on your skin. So don't over soap. That is a huge thing I have to stress. More soap doesn't make it more clean. There is a certain point, and it depends on your washing machine, the type of clothing you're washing, etc. So you have to look into it for what fits you. But there becomes a certain point where this much detergent compared to this much detergent doesn't make a difference. So, if you have eczema, definitely stop over soaping and switch your detergent to a good quality brand. I promise it makes a big difference. Okay, so that being said, here's the tier list. Now, you will notice I do tier lists differently. I have first the Italian flag colors and then black as my little color coordination. And I don't have anything negative here. That is because all of the lotions that I use, I still think the worst one is worth spending your money on. Now I'll go into which ones are better. Obviously, I have the best column for a reason, and we're going to talk about again how it works with my skin in my climate, my diet, everything about me. It could be different for you. You might think the one I put down in the OK and say is my worst is the best. That is absolutely fine. Everybody's body and situation is different. That being said, I'm going to start off with Honest. This is a great brand. I highly recommend the lotion for your arm, leg, body. It really works on soothing. I mean, it does what it's supposed to do. So it is in the best category. I will say they have a body wash. I don't recommend the body wash. They have a conditioner. I'm trying it out. I'll get back to you on that. But for the actual hand lotion, body lotion, yeah, Honest is a very good brand. It's not the most expensive. It doesn't have any grease and there's no fragrance. I highly recommend that one. Avenno. This is what it looks like for anyone who is unfamiliar with it. I have it down in the OK because for me, I think it just does not really help at all. The benefits is it's not greasy, no fragrance, but for the price, it really doesn't do a good job. I think this is one of the worst lotions out there, and again, I still have it in the OK. I don't want to be too negative about it, but put a pin in Avenno because I will circle back to their body wash. Okay, the next one we have is CeraVe. Now you'll notice I have some in person right now, not all of them, and that's just because they're expensive and I can't keep every single one on stock. But if I have it in my hand right here currently, that's a pretty good sign of how I feel about it. So, CeraVe, also in the best category. Now, I know it's a little interesting to have more than one in the best, but this truly is the best of all the lotions out there, okay? Aquaphor. This is what it looks like. Aquaphor is a good lotion and it does soothe. It really does help, especially I have this one in my family's RV. Whenever we are out somewhere that can get more wooded or just different climate and I'm expecting more of a breakout, that is my go-to one just because it really does a great job on soothing. The huge drawback, once you put that on, you are not getting it off for a while. It's very greasy, and if you want to be doing anything with your hands after, even touching the steering wheel of your car, don't do it. Unless you apply it with glove, which you can't then put on your hand, do not use Aquaphor. Unfortunately, it's just way too greasy. Does a great job, decently priced, but I would not recommend it. It is just too greasy. The next one is Eucerin. Alright, this one is a pretty good one. I just put it right there, solid in the good tier. It has a little bit of grease to it, no fragrance, and it does the job. It is good. It's pretty thick, so you do have to use more than you'd think to really coat the area. And it's a little higher than I think it should be priced, but I still have it in person because it is a good lotion. Our next one is a one I just started trying out, Vanicream. I've gone through one complete, what is this? I guess pound of Vanicream, and this is the second one I've bought. I like it. I think it is a good one. However, it shouldn't even be in the great. It is in the good category. It does its job. It definitely relieves the itch, but it doesn't do it as well as it should. But for the price, especially compared to CeraVe, way worth it on the Vanicream side. Again, CeraVe is going to do a better job, but if you need just a standard one that you have for day-to-day use, yeah, I highly recommend Vanicream. The next one on the list is Gold Bond, and I have a few different Gold Bond lotions, but for the eczema relief one specifically, none of the other ones mentioned. The Gold Bond one is pretty great. It's about 15 bucks. It's a little higher than I think it should be. It has very little grease, but it does get the job done. I do highly recommend it. And I don't know if this matters or not, but I like the packaging. Alright, and then next up is Equate. Equate is essentially Walmart's version of Avenno. Okay? It is much cheaper than Avenno. And even though it's pretty much a direct rip-off of Avenno, I think the Equate one does a better job. Now, maybe that's just in my head, but I think it is actually better than its knockoff, or the one it's knocking off rather, and it is way less expensive, so I definitely recommend that one. Cetaphil. I do not recommend Cetaphil. If you're going to get a Cetaphil product, I would recommend the lotion, because the lotion does a good job. It does what it's supposed to do. Okay? But their body wash and their other products, no. It is the worst eczema body wash I have ever tried for sure. I'm not even going to have it included in our other segment just because it was so terrible. This is more expensive than it should be for being so bad. I think, honestly, this is tied for second with the worst product out there. But again, it is in the okay and not the negative because I will still buy it. I'll buy it again and I will still use it. It's not, I don't want to oversell that it's terrible, but I do want you to know my honest opinion. I think that's one of the worst ones out there. Our next one, and you can see I've kind of mangled trying to get every single last drop out of this, is the Vaseline one. The Vaseline one is really great. It's a little more expensive than I'd like, but it has very little grease and it's fragrance free. This is a really good one. Pretty much all of Vaseline's products I think are good, but I definitely recommend the lotion. Okay, the next one on our list is Dove. Now, Dove is a great company. They used to have an incredible body lotion that they don't have anymore. But you'll see it is the baby Dove. For some reason they don't have an adult equivalent. I'm not sure why, but I still use that one. I'm currently out, but I have bought multiples of it. I think this one is really, really great. It does a great job. For me, it's very strange. For example, I'll use Honest. Honest will be working fine. It gets the job done. It will heal, especially right here on my hand. And then after 2 weeks of using that just straight, it stops being as effective, so I have to switch it up. That's true for every brand. The Dove one seems to always be that I can get through the entire tube without having to switch it up. There's not too many that I can say that for. We'll talk about the other one in a second. But Dove is really, really great. The only thing is that they're a little bit smaller bottles than the other ones, and it doesn't really spread as well, but it still definitely gets the job done. Anybody that has extreme eczema, I would definitely recommend having that around the house. Okay, our next one is O'Keeffe's. And O'Keeffe's, it gets the job done. It is super greasy. To me, it's very similar to Aquaphor, and that it is effective, but you can't touch anything after. The main drawback, the reason why I was even debating on having this in its own category that's negative, is because of the scent, alright? It claims it's fragrance free, but it definitely has a scent, there's no question, and I hate it. Well, after I've used it, my hands still smell of it. I cannot stand it. I have bought 2 tubes, gone through them, and I have not bought another one. But if my eczema gets really bad and starts to flare up, which thankfully it hasn't for quite some time now, I'll probably go get an O'Keeffe's again and just have to deal with the smell. But I do not recommend it because that smell is disgusting, and I've had other people mention it even when my hand is not too close to them. So yeah, I do not recommend that one. Now, in my opinion, the all-around best company is Honey Eczema. Alright, they are a little bit more expensive than the other ones, but they have so many products and they really actually work, okay? This is their hand lotion. That's what it looks like. And by far in the top tier. Okay, I think the Honey Eczema brand is probably the best brand all around. And they do an incredible job. There are so many products that they have that I use on a daily basis, okay? As I said, we were going to talk about some other things, but just real quick, let's go right to left. O'Keeffe's, Cetaphil, bottom 2. Avenno, just slightly a step above. Aquaphor is really good, but way too greasy. Equate, Vanicream, and Eucerin I consider all daily use. The Dove, Vaseline, and Gold Bond are, like, let's say, mandatory. And then the Honey Eczema, CeraVe, and Honest, there's just nothing better. That is my list so far. And I have made a list in the past on my old channel. I'll have a link to that in the description so you can see how it changed. It's been about a year and a half, I believe, since I made that other one. So it'll be interesting to see how much my body has changed. Anyway, I said cut out Tide. It's terrible for you. It does not help. Well, here's some other tips, okay? Switch to either Honey Eczema hand soap. This is the best out there. You can buy the bottle and then you can get refills so you can have way more on hand at any time. That's a terrible pun. It is definitely worth it. That is probably the best soap I have found. However, also a really good soap is this raw sugar sensitive skin green tea and cucumber aloe. Sorry, my nose was acting up there. Part of having eczema. So anyway, those two I highly recommend for hand soap. The Honey Eczema one is a little bit better than the raw sugar one, but the raw sugar is a little bit cheaper, so I think it balances out. I currently have both in my bathroom, and I highly recommend using those instead of the other soap. My hands, I mean, you can see how bad it is still, but they have improved so much since before I started using those. So another great product that Honey Eczema has is the hand lotion. And again, you can see I've tried to squeeze out every single drop, The packaging is super ribbed, I guess is a proper way to say that, because I don't want a single bit to go to waste. It's that valuable. Okay, and then another product that they make that I highly recommend is their multi-peptide eye cream. Alright, that's what it looks like. You can see it helps reduce wrinkles and dark circles. I have some very dark circles under my eyes, but if I was not using this product, it would be even worse. This is definitely the best eye cream I've had. I've only tried 2 different brands, but you can see I have multiple on hand at all times because I use it every single day, and sometimes I'll use it at night as well. That being said, for nighttime, there is this Burt's Bees Comforting Night Cream. It has aloe and rice milk. I also highly recommend that one. Just for your face, your nose, anything like that, when it's at night, it can get really dried out. And you see how much I had to keep scratching my nose in all my videos. I'm telling you, if it wasn't for this during the day, I would be doing this every single second. I mean, I don't think I could function without that. So, highly recommend the Burt's Bees one as well. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about is the Avenno body wash. Now, I told you the lotion I don't really like. This is by far the best body wash for eczema that I have had. No question. And the only other body wash that I can really approve of is the Honey Eczema body wash. This one is also really, really great. But for whatever reason, personally, the Avenno one has actually worked, especially on my inner arms, way better than anything else. And I still stand by Honey Eczema as being the top brand because, as I said, the Avenno lotion I will hardly use. But I gotta be honest, unbiased review, Avenno body wash beats out everything else I've tried. So, one more time, here's all the different lotions and how I recommend them, how I rate them. Thank you for watching, and most importantly, if you were like I am when I was in high school, I was facing a lot of people who were questioning why I had eczema, if I was faking it when I said I need to go get some lotion from the nurse's office. I mean, there was such stigma, and I think things have got better. But if you're like me, don't let it get to you. It really doesn't matter, and you can't spread it. So some people will be stupid and try to say that to you, but just keep living your life and don't let that stupid crap affect you. It's not your fault that your skin is this way. I don't think anybody would possibly choose to have to deal with this and be subject to the climate changing at any second and having your skin feel like it wants to fall off, or like me, having a piece of your eyelid literally flake into your eye and temporarily blinding you. It's just not fun. So, be sensitive to anybody with sensitive skin. And if you are somebody with sensitive skin, again, don't let it get to you. It's not your fault. No one would choose this. And I hope that this video can help you in some way. And I cannot stress enough, stop over soaping your clothes. That's all for this video. Thank you. Please like, comment, subscribe, do all that good YouTube stuff, and join me in the next video.